Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday evening. It is 9 o'clock. Time to gather and have a live stream. But first, as always, a little music. Enjoy.
We are all the heirs to Scotland, as a nation proudly stand. We will march beneath her banners to protect our ancient land. In the glens and cities, there on every street are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let our flag mean freedom and not a battle drum. To the world we bid a welcome in 1,000 different ways. We will toast to long lost friendships as we build our better days. In the glens and cities, there on every street are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let our flag mean freedom and not a battle drum. We are all the heroes of Scotland. We're a nation hand in hand. We will march beneath her banners to protect our ancient land. In the glens and cities, there on every street are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let our flag mean freedom and not a battle drum.
Good evening, folks. I hope you're all well, cozy, comfy, settled. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you got a bit of decent weather wherever it is you are. Wasn't bad up here. In fact, it was rather nice today. To be honest, I was actually sitting out in the back today, the back of the house, that is. That's how nice it was. Makes a change, let me tell you. After months of nothing but grey skies and rain and wind. So, Toffee said, by the way, that he would be lurking for 15 or so minutes. He's trying to settle the dogs down. Just so you know. Don't think about that, do you, really? When you've got animals in the house, you've got to work around them all the time. There's Thomas Aquinas. Happy St. George's Day to you too. And there's our Carol from the USA. Good evening, Carol from the USA. It's St. George's Day over here, by the way. Jojo Gizmo, good evening, sir. It's a great story, that, even if it's a bit of a legend. The dragon and all that. Good stuff. Don't know if they still teach that in school. Believe it or not, folks, we got taught that in my school in Scotland. St. George and the Dragon. Water. I'm supposed to drink a lot of that. I can only do it now that I've discovered this flavoured water, which I can actually drink. Straightforward water is, I don't know, it's something I've never been able to take a lot of. But there you go. And I suppose you've all heard about the bodies that they've found. Inside the grounds of the hospitals in Gaza. Mass graves. Hundreds of bodies. People shot in the back of the head. Hands tied behind their back. Pretty gruesome, pretty awful. And still it goes on. Good evening, Robert. I hope you're okay, my friend. Two litres, gosh, that's a lot. That seems an awful lot of water, Jojo. Apparently, I'm told by the doctors that it helps to flush things out of the body for me. So I persevere with it. But as I say, since my son introduced me to this strawberry flavoured water, it's makes it a lot easier for drinking. I've got a better chance of drinking a fair amount of water when it's the flavoured stuff rather than straightforward. I never thought I'd see the day I'd be drinking flavoured water, and we've got such good water here. Or as my late mother used to always say, we've got the best water in the world, she would say. So there you go. So yeah, I'm sure we were all upset to discover this new horror of mass graves. Dreadful, absolutely dreadful. So anyway, Friday night, as if you didn't know, is movie review night. Robert, I drink about a pint of red tea most days. No coffee, no caffeine. Well, believe it or not, Robert, I did nothing but drink coffee. Now, I've been drinking coffee since I was a very young teenager. Um, I'll get to your comment, Toffee, in a wee minute, if you don't mind. Um, but when I took ill last year, I stopped drinking coffee as I usually do when I'm ill. I usually go back onto tea, which is what I was brought up with as a boy. And I haven't gone back to coffee. And I think part of the reason is because in my mind it is so associated with cigarettes. And because I've stopped smoking cigarettes, I've stopped drinking coffee. It makes a kind of sense to me. But strange, never expected that to happen. Okay, see what Toffee's saying, something about the drink here. John, that strawberry stuff is essentially the same as a soft drink. Avoid it, he's advising. Get water and add natural strawberry to it. That sounds like a good idea, Toffee. My only thing I would say against your suggestion is you can't always get strawberries up here. And quite often, when you can get them, they're bloody expensive. I'm beginning to wonder and concern myself with Treble M. Good evening, William. The Gunners. Who are the Gunners? It's not an army, it's a football team, isn't it? Jojo is saying you'll be saving £100 a week by not smoking. Uh, at £15 a packet, Jojo, I was going through at least 2 packets a day. A lot of money. But I never ever considered the money, to be honest with you. Never considered it. Not one bit of it. I enjoyed my smoking. I really did. Now, I've always enjoyed it. But to be honest, none of the doctors have mentioned the cigarette smoking. This has happened. I just stopped looking for a cigarette. And it's been that way ever since. In a couple of months, it'll be a year, which is amazing to me. Oh, for God's sake, come on. I get very impatient with this sort of stuff, Anglo. I do. I'm not you, but these ridiculous claims. Lefties are trying to claim St George was a brown skinned Turk. Oh, for God's sake. What did they base that on? Muppets. He was a Greek Christian. Oh, I tell you. I get really upset with that stuff. I really do. Everton for tomorrow. All right, okay. Arsenal says the Earl. It's something I haven't done, Toffee. He's advising I should look at the back, the label. It's full of additives and excessive sugar. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do that, Toffee. Thanks for the tip there. Lemon and water, says Robert, leaving a jug in the fridge. We're all Everton supporters. Me too, John, says Carol. Ah, there's Doberman. Good evening, sir. I'm going to have to write to Treble M. It's not like Treble M not to be here. Avoid any with sucrose. Yeah. So see, the trouble with Scotland is, for you English folk, is we don't always have the fresh fruit, as you do in England. And when it's available, it's usually well, it's usually pricey. But I'll do what you're suggesting, folks, because I'll definitely not be able to drink as much water without it being flavoured with something. They had me trying it in the hospital when I was in, but I could only drink so much, and then I went off it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I did. Anyway, I was out today at the print shop ordering up the party's booklet, and I thought I'd let you see what I've come up with as far as the covers are concerned. This is the front cover. So I hope you like that. The front cover. It will be a 5 size. That's half an A4 sheet of paper. I own the copyright to this artwork here. The other thing that you have to watch these days, which is really sad, is if you put children on any anything like a book cover or a poster or anything of that nature. Um, Obviously, you need the copyright for a starter, but you're best to avoid uh, showing their faces. So that's why this image is there. You like it, Robert? That's good. That's the front cover. I'll let you see the back cover. And this this is the back cover. Again, it's okay in this case because this is pure fiction artwork, of course. And my own photograph. So that's okay. The only other thing that'll be added here on the back cover will be the printer's name and address. It's a requirement by law, by the way, if you can believe such a thing. But it is. It's so, I think it's to avoid the possibility of you putting out some really, obscene type material. Not that a printer would print it, but just imagine they did. Um, Without a printer's name on it, you see that it makes it pretty difficult for the authorities to try and trace it, where it came from, and who's responsible. I discovered that when I stood for election and had the flyers made up. Flyers had to have the printer's name and address on it, and it doesn't really apply in this case because it's not for an election. But I'm going to get. I've asked them to put their name on it anyway, just to be sure. Just to be sure. So that's the back cover, and I'll show you the inside page. Inside page. So when you open it, this is the first thing that you would see. Is that. You flip that over and you're into the text. So that's that. Be a couple of weeks before they're printed up. But I think they'll be quite effective. We'll see what the general public make of it. I hope they like it. Oh, Rory Herbert. Any thoughts on Tommy Robinson being acquitted today on all charges by the High Court London? Very embarrassing for the Met Police and the Crown Prosecution Service, in my opinion. What was he charged with? I don't know anything about it. Usually expect. Right, okay. And we're talking piss, says Doberman. Well, it's good that he's not facing jail time again. But I'm not fussed for Tommy Robinson. because he's got Jewish handlers, if you don't know, Rory. At the beginning, at the start of it all, at the start of it all, when he was gathering those huge crowds, he had the potential there at the beginning. He had the potential and he threw it all away, in my opinion. He threw his potential away, and with it, the hopes of all the folk that saw in him someone who they could look up to, a hero, if you like. And he squandered all of that for money. Now that's not me just making it all up. That's, I'm glad to hear it, Rory, that you don't disagree. Now, I'm not saying he never went through hell when he went to prison. I'm not saying that either. I wouldn't like to go to prison. Apparently, that's where he got his teeth battered out when he was in prison one of the times. Toffee's slightly disagreeing with me here. He's saying he's never had the potential. EDL was a fed op right from its conception, designed to lead people down a dead end. And I think you would know more about that, Toffee, than I would. And I'm not being sarcastic, by the way. I think you know more about that than I do. I used to watch that years ago on television, on the news, and ask myself, why are they wasting their time fighting with these people on the street? Because that's what appeared to be happening when they appeared in the news when I watched it. They'd be shuffling back and forth and fights would break out. But beyond that, when it got beyond that, when the crowds got really, really big, I thought had he, again, it probably shows my naivety or lack of knowledge. I thought that had he been able to set an organisation up, he certainly had the numbers to be able to do something for our cause. And that's what I mean when I say it was all squandered. Well, as I say, Toffee, from your vantage point of where you live, you probably know more, much more than I've ever known about that organisation. But I take your point. It was limited to the English Defence League. That's what it was called, wasn't it? Yeah. English Defence League. And I assume then that that made it different from British nationalists. Goodness sake, Toffee. When we were doing flash demos in Liverpool in the late 200s, we weren't blasted all over the media because they're actually genuine. The EDL were all over the media immediately, fed up. Well, you're telling me something, Toffee, I don't know. That's all I can say to you, my friend. I observe these things from a great distance of Scotland, and in those days via television. So I saw it obviously very differently. And all I had to go, this is long before I actually woke up, my friend. Yes, there was a time when I wasn't fully awakened. um, so I wasn't aware of these things. I'm talking a bit later than that, when there was huge crowds and you get put into prison for something or other. Again, Orthgarth wasn't at first incorporated as the English and Jewish Defence League. Well, again, I wouldn't know. He doubled down on his support for Israel recently. He's a Zionist, says Anglo. I can believe that. I can't believe it. As I say, I saw it for myself later on. Once I'd learned a hell of a lot more, and once uh, I was observing things in a different way via the internet, and I'd lost television from the house. Well, I gave it up, didn't lose it. Jojo, I was at Bentica demo against Muslim rape gangs in Newcastle. And George Galloway and Russell Brand were leading an Antifa counter protest against us. God almighty. God almighty. So your group, Jojo, was obviously seen as being fascist or extreme right wing then. See, I don't see my so I don't see myself as that. Well, I must be, obviously. And I don't see myself that way. But I suppose I must be. Oh, that's another one. That's another one that gets me. Anglo Judeo Christian values. There is no such a thing. It's just not such a thing. Ah, a big German right wing organization Jojo tells me, right? Okay. I am, and I have looked at that way of thinking. The third way. Well, it's like the People's Party. We don't have an ideology. We have philosophy and common sense. That's where our policies come from. I think Tommy Robinson, was the ruination of a lot of uh, well-founded frustration and anger from working-class people, and he took him up a cul-de-sac. Good evening, English wanderer. A lot of new names here tonight. Him and his thugs attack some English nationalists in Telford. Total wronging. Well, of course he would be, wouldn't he, Anglo? Woodlander is on hope, not hate radar. Robbing his scum. Well, this is what I thought, Doberman. Cash, because apparently he's now got a villa in Spain. Well, has had for a few years now. A villa in Spain. Well, I'm sure that's right. I'm sure you're right. It's the initiative that's being investigated. Yeah, they want to know all about it. They'll try and figure out a way of putting a spanner in that work. You're saying they're just a joke, Toffee? Nothing to worry about. Oh, you've been through that mill, have you? Exile Viking says, good evening, Exile Viking. Tommy was well with Rebel Media, another Zionist organization. Yep, that's true. They are. Tommy is just an arse. uh, you see, as I say, at the height of the the attention he was getting, I thought there was a lot of potential for an organization to be founded there because he was able to command such numbers. But obviously, that was before. Oh, there's Durst. Good evening, Durst. Um, that's part of the problem, isn't it? When you're trying to explain things, because in life things happen at the one time. They don't happen in that nice turning a page the way when we're reading stuff. So when I was looking at all of that activity that was going on from afar, from Scotland here, it looked as though it had tremendous potential to become an organisation that that could have actually made a difference politically with the right people at the top. But then I noticed that he was getting media attention from Jewish people in Australia were coming over here to photograph him on the streets of London or wherever he was appearing, which I thought was bloody incredible that he could command that. And that's when the suspicions started to rise in my own head. And then I saw him more specifically as time marched on, being involved with them, these Jewish people around him. And next thing, there was all sorts of rumours about money and villas in Spain and all this sort of stuff. So instantly I started to drop him from my positive thoughts. H&H used to call me and two of my mates bonehead, and they could never get their story straight, constantly misidentificating us. They said I'd been arrested at a protest once. I wasn't even there. I agree with that, Anglo. All of us in our circles are on a list. Yeah, and I knew I went on a list right away when I started the political party. I knew that. I just knew it. I wasn't particularly concerned, to be honest. I'm not particularly concerned that I'm on a list. But I know I am. I think what we're trying to fix our country, the things that we're trying to fix are more important than being on a list or not being on a list. That's what I see. It's the only way I can balance it. You said that before, Doberman. I don't have any opinion one way or the other. I'm sorry, English warrior. I don't know who you're talking about. You see that I'm pretty I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to some of this stuff. H&H reported me for live streaming an anti-trans demo in Birmingham, organised by Kylie J. Keane. I don't know who that person is. The only list I care about is Father Christmas. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, I hope I'm on that, Doberman. I hope I'm on that list. Handsome and dangerous list. Approach with caution. There's Mr. Rodney Johnson. Hi, John. Well, thank you. I do feel quite well, to be honest. I was sitting out the back of the house all afternoon today. It was lovely here today, really warm in the sun. Uh, I told you I lost touch with them years and years ago. It was one of those things that I met him through the work. We worked for the same employer. He worked in a different shop from me, and oh right, Jojo, I now know who you're talking about, or who Posey Parker. I know who Posey Parker is. But as I say, I quit that job. Like I quit most of my jobs, and I lost touch with that person. So I couldn't wear the uniform even if I still had. Well, I'd need to be in touch with him, but I don't even know where he is. No. Good evening, 77 Brigade. We love our list, Cece. Ah, ah, right. Thank you, Robert. See, once I get things explained to me, I'm not so much a dotery old man, and I don't like the idea of being considered that either. Yeah. I didn't know. Oh, I wasn't aware that she used a different name. Hmm. She's very good. I've watched her a few times on some of the shows that she's been on. She's very good. She doesn't take any nonsense from anyone. Father Ted, thanks, William. Yeah, we need plenty of Posey Parkers. Absolutely. She's a bigot. Trans is voluntary eugenics. Can only be a positive removing degenerate genes. Yeah, I see the point you make. Yeah. Anyone who speaks truth is to be encouraged. And she speaks truth. So, anyway, now that tonight I don't have a guest on, I'm going to go back over this whole thing about buying music from me. If you wish to buy music from me, all you have to do is send me your email saying that in the email. I want to buy some of your music, John, full stop. That's all I need. Okay? Then I've got your email address. That's the important part of it. If you then send me either a postal order, a check, or better still, you put £5, buy me a cup of coffee for a fiver, you'll get 7 music tracks. Okay? I'm going to use, I don't know anything about the following Robert, to be honest, that she's got. I've no idea. I've only watched her on, as I say, the uh, the shows that she's been on talking about it. So I don't know anything else apart from that. I'm not even that interested, to be honest. Uh, so back to the music thing. Okay, you send me your email address. So I've got your email address. You put five. You buy me a cup of coffee, which is a fiver. That's the basic amount you can put in that. It's a fiver, and for that fiver, I'll send you 7 music tracks. Okay, and I'm going to use Toffee as an example, right? So if Toffee was to do that, everyone will get the intro song, which is called Scotland. Everyone would get the outro song, which is called The Eternal Flow. Everyone would get the copy of The King, which was the record that I put out, a 45 record. And the B-side, everyone would get that, which is called The Great Divide. So that's the 4 tracks that everyone would get if they want music. But there's another 3 tracks. Now, in Toffee's case, I know he likes a track of mine called Hail to the Lord. So that would be 1 track. He also happens to like a song of mine called A Lost Time. That's 2. So he's only got 1 more track that I need to know. And then I can send him his 7 tracks via the email. No, they wouldn't all go on the one email. It need to be, need to be either 2 or 3 emails. Okay, but that's how it can be done. Toffee doesn't give up anything in sense of he's not giving me his true identity or his true postal code if he doesn't want to. And I then don't have to buy these USB sticks. Now, the only thing that you must be clear about if you're interested in any of this is that what you get is the music. You do not get the video that I've made that goes with the music, because it's the video side that takes up so much electronic space, and it doesn't allow you to send music through the email system. So I hope that's clear. Now already somebody has sent me their name and address, but I'll write to them and explain what I'm doing. I can't make it any simpler than that. And I think that's reasonable amount of money. William is reminding you all, and I keep forgetting to say it, hit the like button, folks. It helps the channel, they tell me. All right. So there you go. If you want the music, if you want any of the music, that's what happens. Thank you, Anglo. So I think anyone who runs after or supports Tommy Robinson is either one of him or they're wasting their time. If they're genuine in what they're hoping to achieve, then they're wasting their time. They'd be better supporting my party or 5-0, the Arsenal. You can never tell when you guys are serious. So anyway, I hope you've watched the film, William. Friday night is movie night, so I hope you've watched it. I've got it in my collection. Anyway, that's another story. So yes, I was a wee bit fooled to begin with in the early days of Tommy Robinson, Blackula. It's a film I've never seen. No ambitions to see it either, Doberman. Low budget nonsense. Don't mind sometimes low budget nonsense, so long as it's good. So anyway, you've seen that, you've seen that, and you've seen that. So I think what I need to do now is put this up. I don't have any visuals for this. And again, the reason I don't have any visuals for this is because when you put visuals onto music, it becomes this incredibly large file size. But bear with it, it's a really great song. It's one of Durst's songs. It's called The Once and Future King.
In a cave at the side of a crooked hill, a bearded future king sat still to watch a spider climb. 7 times he tried. And as he watched the spider climb, only to slip down again, he felt a kindred soul and shared its lofty goal. And as he watched that spider climb, only to slip down again, he wished the spider well. Two hermits in a cell. Then up the silken thread went he, slow and sure and carefully, until he reached his home, and balance was restored. The once a future king took heed, employed the lessons he would need to win his rightful throne when balance is restored.
There you go, folks. Isn't that really good? Anglo says it's nice. Yeah, I think it is. I rather like it. I rather liked it when I heard it at first. I've played it quite regularly. It's one of these tracks that the more you listen to it, the more you enjoy it. Just Kate, another new name here. Welcome, Just Kate. I'm glad you enjoyed that. That's a chap who's sub to the channel here. His name is Durst, Drust. If you wish to go and have a look at his channel, he's got a lot of really good stuff there. So anyway, I was going to tell you that I've got the gas board coming tomorrow. I'm looking at my calendar here. Keep a calendar on this wall here. So Friday, the 3rd of May, I have a guest on, a very special guest. PBC will be joining me on the live stream. Looking forward to that. I haven't spoken to a female on this channel for years now. So I'm looking forward to that. Friday, the 10th of May. I just saw that there. That's good. I like that angle. Yes, we have business to do. Friday the 10th of May. I'm going to have No Chance as my special guest. So that's two special guests on the live stream coming up, and the gas board tomorrow. Oh, that's good. Oh, we don't laugh. What would we do, folks? We'd just cry. Do you like my cross? Eh? A man himself. Eh? Just Kate says you need us ladies to make us sandwiches. Doberman saying they're coming to fix the mobile unit. Cram the commies in. Oh, Mr. Rodney is determined to get me into this uniform. You should wear your friend's uniform when the gas man comes. I can just to see it now as I open the door. That would definitely be funny. You're here to fix the gas unit. I wonder if you'd see the joke. Where are your rosary beads, John? Well, Thomas Aquinas, I don't have a set. I bought a set when I was on the island of Mallorca, and I bought a set from the cathedral, which of course were blessed. And I bought them from my mother, and that set went into the coffin with her. So I don't have a set. In fact, I haven't had a set since I was a boy. They're coming to fit listening devices to hear your hate crimes, says Mr. Rodney. Well, you never know. Doberman saying they're not needed. Anyway, just so you know, movie nights and Friday night, and then the following week, we've got two guests coming on. And what makes it better in many ways is the fact that I don't know this PCM. It's not PCM, John. It's PBC. And the last time I had no chance on the channel was during lockdown. You know, he's only been on the channel once, but he came on during the lockdown. I doubt it. I wouldn't even know how to get in touch with him, to be honest, Mr. Johnson. What was I saying? Yeah, I had no chance on. And we get so wrapped up in our conversation about the COVID and all that stuff. Again, well, thanks for that information, Robert. As I say, I don't know anything about the good lady. I only I only came across her when I went over to listen to Scott's Armour, and instantly wanted to have her on as a guest. So she's well clued up. PBC is a great girl. I'm proud to call her a friend, says Toffee. Proper daughter of Scotland. Oh, she's. Well, that's right. Well, I get the impression she's from up the railway line a little bit from me. I think that's probably true, Doberman. He probably has said it all. I mean, he's been around a long, long time. A long time. She's a good one, says Anglo. Haven't heard anything about him for a long, long time, to be honest, Doberman. He must be a good age, I would think. DJ's a lucky man, says Anglo. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, DJ is a man who needs all the good fortune. Well, we all need good fortune, but I always think that DJ needs a wee bit extra good fortune. So I'm hoping, I hope you're right. I'm looking forward to speaking to this lady anyway, because as I say, I don't know anything about her except what you guys have now told me. And so it should be interesting to see how the conversation goes and where it goes. Uh, but I was surprised because there aren't too many ladies on our side of the fence, or if they are, there's not too many of them hang about on YouTube. Yeah, oh, I'm well aware, Toffee. Yeah, I am well aware of that. That's what I say. That's why I'm saying what I say. I'm pleased for him. I remember what he was like when he first, or when I first came across him. And he's got a wee dog. He got that helped him. And I don't know what kind of dog he's got though, Toffee. I think it's some breed like you've got. I'm not sure. Um, I think he took a lot of flack for a long time because he was living with his mum. I don't see anything wrong with that at all, but apparently some people do. Jack Russell, Jack Russell, is it? I knew it was a small breed. I wasn't sure if it was those dogs that you've got. It's a Jack Russell. So thanks for all of that. So you know who who's coming on. I haven't had guests on for long enough. No, they're not quite Staffordshire Bull Terrier. No, not quite. It's Doberman. The dog he's getting is Nat King Cole. Great for morale. Well, I remember when he first got that wee dog, and he was over the moon because he had a purpose, taking the dog out for walks and looking after it and all the rest of it and learning all about it. It certainly it certainly made a big difference to his life at that point. So that was all good. And animals, as you all know, can certainly do that for you, lift you up, no doubt about it. And then I heard he had a girlfriend. PVC structure is the difference. I think you're absolutely right, Doberman. We all need it. We definitely all need it. If you don't have structure, if you don't have that personal organization, um, people just fade away. Do you keep any reptiles? Asks Mr. Johnston. Oh, the baby's born, is it? The answer to your question, Mr. Rodney, is no, I do not have reptiles. No, I'm not a reptilian type of guy, actually. My favourite domestic animal for pets is definitely women. And second to that would be cats. Got nothing against dogs, except I'm just too damn lazy to be taking them out for walks, and certainly now I'm not fit for it. So it's just as well I don't have a dog. It would be unfair on the dog. Congratulations to Sam and Laura, Melinda's new daughter, says Rory. Violet. She must be just 3 days old. My gosh. That's barely in the world now. Have you have you noticed Sam's got a baby's heat? A woman. Thanks, Toffee. People say I don't have a sense of humour. I do, but it's just kind of oblique. I'm sure it'll help him. Well, he's going through this very difficult period in his life, and I hope he is. He's managing to get through it. You should keep pet alligators. Have you got alligators, Mr. Johnston? What have you got as pets, Mr. Johnson? What have you got? I don't think people should have exotic animals in their homes. I really don't, to be serious about it. I don't think it's bad. I think it's bad for the animals. I really do. And it's not very good for the pets either. Um, Big Sam won't get early release parole if he doesn't show contrition to his so-called crimes. Yeah, I know that. I know it's dreadful, that angle. That's how it works. You got to say, "I'm sorry, mister, I didn't mean it," or "I'm sorry, I won't do it again," and all of that. It's ridiculous. Is it worth saying, even if you don't mean it? And I'm sure he won't mean it if he says it. I don't think anybody would think badly of him. I certainly wouldn't think badly of him if he says it to get out early. Who the hell wants to spend any more time in a prison than need be? No, if that's what it's going to take to get him out early, he should do it. He should say it. I don't think anyone will hold anything against him. He certainly won't get any medals for doing the full time that he's got. So I would encourage him to say whatever it needs to be said, or whatever needs to be done to get him out early. He's got a wee baby there to take care of. She needs her mum and her dad. Oh, that sounds great, Mr. Johnson. I have 2 German shepherds. The obvious remark to that is, have you ever thought of getting the dogs to go with them? 2 German shepherds. They're lovely. Lovely. Lovely animals. That's not fair, John. Some of us have exotic pets. I have a python I keep inside my boxer short. Oh, very good. Uh, Old one, a bit golden. Dear. I'm not going to say you're wrong here, Doberman. You're probably right. But he needs to get out of that place. He just needs to get out of it. And he needs to be an awful lot more careful when he gets home. That's for sure. Anglo Rottweilers are great dogs too. They get a bad reputation, don't they? Rottweilers. Doberman saying, do the time, no surrender. There's Toffee again. What are you saying now? I guess this is a sore point for you, Toffee. Sam Leah, English hero. 2 hours later, oh no. Oh, and the other people in jail who don't make money for us. Right, I get your point, Toffee. Again, I don't take anything to do with PA, so I'm not sure what's going on, but I get the gist of what you're saying here. There's an awful lot of people languishing in jails on our side. Too many of our people. Who we should have, of course, and no one's ever, well, maybe I'm talking out of turn. We should have a fund for our people. If they get in trouble with the law, there should be a fund there that can be used to help. I have a maggot I keep inside my boxer shorts, says Mr. Johnston. How much bird you done, Doberman, says Anglo. Do you mean jail time? Okay, I'll go along with that, Doberman. I think you've made a very good point there. I was ignoring that side of it. I was just thinking about the wee baby. But you're right. That that would be a big legacy he would create. You're right. Definitely, you're right. And he may well be into that. And if he is, well, good luck to him. Yeah, well, in a minor way, yeah. Gosh, no, nah. I've never even visited anyone in one. I've got no ambition to be a political prisoner. A sarcastic communist person I know said to me once that I could never be a leader of a political party on the right side of politics without doing time in prison. I don't necessarily agree with that, but never mind. I've got no ambition to be in a prison. Toffee, my fellow Scouser James Costello is part of PA. He's in prison currently. PA did a gushing post about Sam and left him. They made another post a few hours later. All right. Right. I see what you're getting at here, Toffee. No, I would tend to go on your side here if there's sides to be taken. Never been cut out. So they got take some stick that they have to take. Yeah. Do you know anyone that has done time inside? Asked Mr. Johnson. Yes, I do. I do, Mr. Johnson. And is your pal out now, Toffee? Is James Costello? Is he still? Oh no, he's currently. You said he's in prison currently, right? I've no idea. I've no idea. I'd need to be in these situations to know what I would do and what I wouldn't do. It's like uh, it's like saying what you would do if you went to war. What you would do. Nobody knows these things. No one knows what. I don't know what I'm capable of or what I'm not. I really don't. Would I survive the experience of being in a prison? Well, unless I died, I would survive it. But whether I would survive it intact with all the things that I consider to be important still attached to me, I don't know. Again, you don't know these things until you're in these situations, I think. But I've got no desire to get myself into that situation. I've heard the inmates look after older guys like us in prisons, unless you're a nonce. I don't know. I don't have much knowledge about such things, about in prisons and whatnot. The person I'm thinking on, I knew him. I got to know him when I was 16 and he was 15. I'll get back to that in a minute, Mr. Johnson. Anglo, my brothers and I got 9.5 years. Oh my God. aggravated GBH. Good God, I got 4 with my little brother. My elder brother got 18 months. Quickly grew up here in jail. Jesus wept, ankle. Oh God, that's tough. 9.5 years. Holy moly. That's something else, Anglo. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's a long time. Well, this person I know, he got 12 years. But he turned out to be a sociopath. I've spoken about him before. It took me years to get rid of him out of my life. And it's only through him that I know anything at all about prison. And that's very little. He spent a lot of time in solitary confinement to survive it. So he said. Well, that's my feeling as well. I served 2 out of 4 years. Says Anglo. God, that's a long time, Anglo. 2 years? Holy moly. 2 years inside. Jinx. Robert, a fellow I know got 7 for a 7, Jesus wept, for attacking a brown quarter for a slant on his daughter. Now, I can understand why we take a swipe at him, of course. Sure, we'd all feel the same. Two years, Anglo. God almighty. There's nothing I can say. Gavin, good evening. GBH is a bad charge with racially aggravated. 4 is little. Bad stuff, guys. What was prison like for you guys? Asked Mr. Johnston. Oh, right. We've got 6 years, says Anglo. But I pleaded guilty, he's saying. For God's sake. Good God, Toffee. I know. You spoke about this before to me. Mine's was GBH for breaking an Antifa's jaw after he'd threw something at me. So you were defending yourself, Toffee. Antifa's jaw. Anyone done flipping out. Did 7-day remand in Berlin in those days. The Barrel. Yeah. Minding their own business, give. The Barrel. Toffee saying, two-tier police system. The police watched and did. The police watched it happen and did nothing until I reacted. Yeah. Then they grabbed you. I know what that is, Robert. It's just as well it's your own. That's as much as you can say about it. I wish I could say something positive to you guys. I can't think of anything to say that could possibly be of any benefit to you. Gavin, my brother served 7.5 for maliciously wounding a fella who had just kicked the poop out of him, breaking his shoulder. 7.5 years? Jesus. Boy, oh boy. Stafford was a hardneck, full of Stokies, Scousers and Brummies. Belmarsh. Mr. Johnson would like to know if anyone's been in Belmarsh. Kinda sounds like it. Kinda sounds like it. Exile Viking. I got arrested in Germany with GI in 2015 for refusing a dispersion order. They batoned charged us and started hitting us. £500, oh no, €500 will be fine and a mugshot. Jeez, oh. Well, I'm so pleased to hear that, Toffee. I'm doing well in life now. It's good. Well, I know something of your life. It's all behind me. Good. I don't let it affect my life. Even better. Onward and upward. Absolutely. Yeah, you can't let that sort of thing hold you back. It'll always be there in some form or other, I expect. My sister does some work with ex-prisoners. I'm getting her on this to talk. She's got a lot to say about these things. She's got some experience in these things, dealing with it. Yeah, you can't let these things become a wall that you can't get over. Like hotels in Nordic countries. What percentage of men end up doing birdie? I certainly wouldn't know the answer to that, Mr. Johnston. Too many, as far as I'm concerned. That's for sure. And what depresses me even further, I mean, not what you guys have been saying here tonight. It's illuminating what you've said here tonight. But the fact that there doesn't seem to be any constructive help for men when they come out of prison, regardless of how much time they've served, whether it's a short time or a long time. There seems to be no help there. That depresses me. Exile saying they call them clients rather than prisons, have their own key to their rooms, phone use, etc. Jesus. God. It's something else, that. The touch, the touch me and my brothers had a scamp with claimed they didn't speak English, so how on earth did they know we racially abused them? Well, that's a good point. It's a very good point, Anglo. Yeah, how did they know? No idea. They couldn't have known. The only thing, the only clue you would have if you don't know the language is the tone of the words. It depends on what you said. Maybe you could have used all sorts of abusive terms that would make it even more difficult to know if you don't speak the language. I'm going to make the reasonable assumption that you're speaking English and they don't. So if you're using English language and they don't understand it, how could they possibly know? Because there's all sorts of things in the English language, as you know, that isn't, it doesn't sound the way cursing sounds. Cursing sounds a particular way because it is designed to be short, abrasive sound, and all of the curse words are built that way if you stop and think about it. So that's the tone. So that's the only possible way. But you wouldn't just be cursing, you would be putting other words in there. No, you're right. There's no way they could possibly know. I think that's a very valid point, Gavin. All blonde Brits play the race card. Yeah, absolutely. The only experience I had of that, and I mean, compared to what you guys are talking about, it's nothing really. But I'll say it anyway. It proves Gavin's point. I was coming out of this is years ago. I was coming out of Tesco one day, and there was a whole line of taxi cabs sitting, waiting to pick up passengers. And the one at the front had this Pakistan in it. And I walked past the car. I wasn't going in the car because I'd been in this guy's car before and had caused trouble. He did, not me. He did. So I just walked past this car to the next car down. And the driver of the car I was getting into says, "What's the matter, mate? You're not going in there." I said, "I've had trouble with him before. I don't want it again." I said, "You all right, me coming in your car?" He said, "Yeah, no problem." I said, "You sure now?" "Yeah, how you get?" And before I got into the cab, this fella up at the front gets out of his cab and starts calling me all the racial such and such he could think on. I was the racist. I was the hate monger because I wouldn't get in his cab. So you're absolutely right, Gavin. But he had caused me bother before in his cab because I won't go into any detail because it wouldn't mean anything to you. But I was going from Tesco to my house and he was going this extraordinary long way. And when I complained about it, he started kicking up. So I told him to stop the car. And the minute he stopped the car, I got out. I never paid him. No, that's not true. What I did was I threw £2 coins into the cab and walked off. But this is what he was doing. And him and his brother were known for this. What happened eventually, it got worse. And he ended up getting charged for something or other. I think it was some old lady they tried to do. And he got charged by the police, ended up in the sheriff court, but never showed up, of course. He was on a plane back to Pakistan. Never been back since. Him and his brother disappeared. No, that's not on the same level as what you guys are talking about. I know that. But it proves Gavin's point. The minute you say anything, boom, out comes the race card. Especially those Alan Sniper varieties, as exit Viking. Well, this was the Pakistan variety. I'm just not confrontational by nature. It's not my nature to be confrontational. It's not, believe it or not. Some people may not believe that, but it's true. Because with that kind of person, I know I'm not going to win the argument. He's got colour on his side and he's going to use it. Well, I hope all of you who have seen the inside of these prison walls, I hope you are all recovered as best you can and have moved on with your lives, and I'm sure you have. And that's good that you have. Because you only get this one chance, as far as we know. And to spend any of it incarcerated is bad. It's a waste. So I agree with you. Oh, there it's there. That's the one above it. See that? It just went away from me. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I think you're absolutely right. I didn't back down from this guy. I just didn't want to have a shouting match across the taxiway. Pointless. Absolutely pointless. And I didn't want my taxi driver to get into any trouble because that's what I was thinking might happen. That he might report the taxi driver that I was going to go with. And that would have been grossly unfair. But as I say, ultimately, that's what happened to him and his brother. One of them got taken up on charges. And it was to do with the, the taxi business and Scarper back to where they came from. Exiled. Quick question, Joanne. The list of songs you're offering for sale is raw tobacco from Virginia included. Yes, that song is called A Lost Time. And that's one that I know Toffee has taken to. Uh, but yes, that's they're all for sale, but obviously you none of you know the titles. So we need to get the titles all sorted out. Oh gosh, is it getting that time? Good night all. Oh, you off pass. Okay, doke. Yeah, that would be one of them if you want it to be one of them. If you were following earlier, if you were lurking earlier, what's the way I see it is you'll get 7 tracks for £5. Four of those tracks, well, two of them is the intro and the outro for the live stream. The two songs I've been using for long enough. The other two songs are the A and B side of my single. One's called The King about Elvis, and the other one's called The Great Divide about the Berlin Wall. So that would be four of the 7, and then you get to pick 3. And that could easily be one of them. Likes of Budgie Burger. If he was wanting music, I know, for example, he likes that Play with Fire. He might want that as one of his 3 choice. Although it's not my song, he likes that interpretation. So I can't make it any simpler. It's trying to make it simple has been the challenge. Anglo, when I was uh, decategorized to an open prison, I was allowed a day out. My wife and I conceived our 4th child. Oh, gotta look on the bright side. Oh, for goodness sake, that's that. I mean, that's nice. I mean, it is. It's nice, but poignant. Yeah. Gosh, some of you folk have had a real tough time. A day awaits this mass. Really, you have. Doberman should have told him to go home and watch his elephant. Oh, I tell you. Oh, it's your favourite, is it? Well, it's called a Lost Time. That's that song. Followed by the I don't know what that is. J.I. Oh, long live the king. Yeah, that's right. That's part of the lyrics. No, I was laughing at I was laughing at Robert. I was in a cab with a brown driver. He said his name was Sign along has. But on a serious note, no, some of you guys have had a real tough time. You really have. Paid a visit. Well, that would be two of them. The intro is called Scotland, and the outro is called The Eternal Flow. The other two would be The King and The Great Divide. And then you get three to pick. Well, you're saying that you would like a Lost Time. That gives you another two to pick. Pick more than that, but makes it easier for me if you're all if I can deal with all of you at least initially anyway with the same thing. I'm kind of staggered, guys. I mean, you've kind of blew my mind. Really have. Stopped at 4. And you stop going inside. Tell me that, for God's sakes, Ankler. Tell me you stop going inside. You've got 3, Doberman. I've got 2, but one of mine's, my first, is totally estranged from me. It always has been. A daughter. But I've got an adopted daughter. I've got Lorraine. Gavin says, it's been a tough 12 since I moved here. There's Lynn and crackheads, had my mental health decline. I'm getting better now. Oh, good. A place to hear it. I'm pleased to hear that, Rory. Gavin, rather. It can't be easy. Well, he was in that side of things, wasn't he, Mr. Johnston? He was a prosecutor, was he not? Yeah, of course he was. Will prisons change? No, nothing will change. it's come. I mean, what is happening now is quite shocking, at least to me, and I'm sure it is for lots of people, to discover just how much influence uh, the Jews have over the Labour Party. It's quite shocking, really is. Not only have they got these so-called friends of Israel, but it's deeper than that. It's much, much deeper than that. It's a tragic decline of a party that was started by real working class men and women. It's just absolutely tragic, disgustingly tragic. You've said that before, Mr. Doberman. Rory's telling me my hot water bottle is getting cold. I noticed. I noticed. So anyway, folks, the time is getting on. It is after 11. And it's going to be dreadful under him. Just dreadful. It's a music video by Sam Hyde, John. Was it? Somebody's jumped on it already, have they? Sam Hyde, I'll try and find it. I'm not that clever, to be honest. I'm just not. I think you. I think you're making a point that's going to be sadly become true. Anglo, that's very nice. I can listen to you all day. Well, thank you for that. So, see, I'm going to. I've been talking with my sister about getting my sister to come on. She's been on before, but again, it's a few years ago. Well, there is that. That will be some sort of compensation. And I think the SNP are in for the same brutal treatment. I just wish the party was in a better shape financially to have a stab at an election, a general election, but we don't have the money, folks. The mother's in the tribe, his sons are in the tribe. There's a lot of work to be done, folks. A lot of work to be done. I don't think I'll live long enough to see it all done, that's for sure. Well, anyway, as soon as I have the booklet, I'll let you see it, obviously. But it'll be, yeah, probably a couple of weeks yet. Exiled. Under Labour will be more immigration, more devolved powers to Holyrood, and the doors of the borders will be removed and chopped up for firewood. We don't even have doors, what's the thing? Uh, oh, no, it's another thing, isn't it? The Middle East. Give it 5 minutes, John. Here comes World War III, says Doverman. Holy moly. They're wide open, that's for sure. What I find frustrating about the country, folks, to be sort of serious about it. Well, there's another beauty. Oh, Jesus. Don't say things like that, Anglo. Jesus. Oh, no. David Lammy going to be home or Foreign Secretary. Oh, jeez. Nothing would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me. And he's a real bigot, that man. I was just going to say that the Iranians won't give an inch. They just won't give an inch. Mr. Johnson, Diana as Chancellor. Absolutely. Absolutely. She's got such a grasp on finance. This is the thing. Not as big as me, says Dolan. But you see, the way I see it, and I'm going to make this serious point to you now. Okay. If I'm talking about me, if I am bigoted, okay, in someone's eyes, if they see me as bigoted, my defense for that is I never used to be a bigoted person, but my observation of foreigners in my country have turned me into a bigoted person. That's a good one. Diane Abacus Abbott. Well, forget the Diane, just how about Abacus Abbott? How about both? Could you could you accept both? Oh, John, you say BD Frigo. I don't give a damn, says Doberman. I don't really care either, to be honest. All I can say is what I just said, and I believe that to be true. I never started out this way. Living my life and seeing what I have seen has made me this way. If that makes me a bigot, then that's what I am. It was Corbyn. here comes the music. When she was younger, she looked normal and actually okay. Now she's a monster. New targets, new jokes, same old persecution, same old lies. You've got to be like that. You can't falter. Blood, soil, Christ, family, and homeland are natural and good. Absolutely. No, you're right, Doberman. You're right. You are right. Anyway, I've got the music ready to go. She wears two left shoes. Or is it two right shoes? Does she buy them that way? Do you think she buys them in pairs like that? Can I have two lefts and two rights, please? Ah, I tell you, folks. Oh, God. They're all as bad as each other, I tell you. Anyway, the SNP are come tumbling down. Corruption. I'm going to tell you something that nobody knows. Nobody. I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but it's true. When they first came to power, Alex Salmond went on a sort of tour of Scotland, and he came to Greenock. And believe it or not, I arranged a private interview with him. So when he came here, I met him and we spoke privately. And I warned him at the time that if he really wanted to help Scotland, he would need to make sure, and this is what I said, that he didn't get caught with these trousers at his ankles or with his hand in the country's money. I met him once on a train, says Doberman. Talk politics, offered him a drink of my wine. Oh, he wouldn't take that. He declined. No, no surprise there. Not a surprise at all. Well, he didn't listen to my advice. That was a long time ago. It's all copy paste, of course, as usual. Right, so I'm going to say good night, folks. As I always say, adios, au revoir, cheerio. And until Friday night, bye for now. Thanks, each and all of you, for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Always appreciate it. So, until Friday, take care of yourself, folks. And we'll speak again soon. Okay? Enjoy the music.
Silently the snow falls, paints a winter scene, swiftly spreads the dark rim, hides a fading autumn green. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, conjure friendships dear to me. Lightly now the breeze flows, disturbing more than just the leaves. But life's much more
Got a little upbeat, Julia.
than we can know. We are one small glow in the eternal flow. Patiently the love grows, lifts the weary heart. Gently now she holds me, melts two worlds once apart. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, usher dreams of you and me. Softly then the breeze blows, disturbing more than just the trees.
All together now.
But love's much more
So much
than we can know.
as we can ever possibly do.
We are one small glow
But an important glow.
in the eternal flow. Melodies of long ago, songs of innocence, harmonies to soothe the soul, past the consequence. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, awakening joys of you and me. Silently the snow falls, bringing winter symphony.
All together now.
But we're much more than we can know.
As we could ever do.
We are one small glow in the eternal flow. But life's much more than we can know. We are one small glow in the eternal flow.
Right, folks, you take care now, and I hopefully will see you all on Friday. Bye for now. Take care. Bye.